A federal judge in Brooklyn sentenced singer and convicted sexual predator R. Kelly to 30 years in prison.
Today, we're looking at 20 of the most infamous celebrities currently behind bars. Their fall from grace serves as a sobering reminder that fame and fortune can't shield anyone from the law. First up, we have R. Kelly. Once a chart-topping R&B star celebrated for hits like I Believe I Can Fly and Ignition, Kelly's legacy is now overshadowed by a trail of allegations that spanned over 2 decades. In 2021, after years of investigation and numerous testimonies from victims, he was sentenced to 30 years in prison for racketeering and sex trafficking. The jury heard harrowing accounts of his manipulative behavior, including accusations of coercing minors and controlling their lives through threats and violence. His conviction sparked widespread discussions about abuse in the music industry and prompted calls for greater accountability. Next, we have Nathaniel Glover, known to fans as Kid Creole, a prominent figure in the hip-hop scene as a member of the legendary group Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. After stepping away from music, Glover's life took a dark turn in 2017 when he was involved in a fatal altercation with an unhoused man. Glover claimed self-defense during the trial.
The 55-year-old victim pronounced dead at Bellevue Hospital.
But the jury ultimately found him guilty of first-degree manslaughter. He was sentenced to 16 years in prison, followed by 5 years of supervised release. His case highlights the stark contrast between his previous life in the spotlight and the grim realities of street violence. Moving on, we have Mel Hall, a former Major League Baseball player who played for teams such as the Chicago Cubs and the New York Yankees. Hall's athletic career was marked by success, but it came to a shocking halt when he was arrested in 2007 for sexually assaulting minors. His manipulative actions and abuse of trust were revealed during the investigation. In 2021, Hall was sentenced to 45 years in prison, with many expressing outrage that such a celebrated athlete could harbor such dark secrets. This case serves as a reminder that even those in positions of power can exploit their influence for harm.
And he not only moves in, he and Chaz move into her parents' bedroom, and they move into her old bedroom.
Corey Miller, better known by his stage name C Murder, gained fame as part of the hip-hop group TRU, which also included his brother, rapper Master P. However, Miller's career came crashing down in 2002 when he was arrested for the murder of a 16-year-old named Steve Thomas at a New Orleans nightclub. The case against him was controversial, with claims of inadequate legal representation and witness intimidation. Despite numerous appeals and protests of his innocence, Miller was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison without parole. His story reflects the complexities of the justice system and the ongoing debates around wrongful convictions.
In an affidavit, Kenneth Jordan said Jefferson Parish deputies pressured him to lie by holding an unrelated charge over his head.
Tamara Sitch, widely recognized as Sunny from WWE, has had a tumultuous life outside of wrestling. After battling personal demons, she faced a devastating consequence in 2022 when she crashed her car while under the influence, resulting in the tragic death of Julian Lasser. Initially charged with DUI manslaughter, Sitch eventually pleaded no contest and was sentenced to 17.5 years in prison. Her story is a cautionary tale about the dangers of substance abuse and its ripple effects on the lives of others.
That was 39-year-old former pro wrestler Tamara Sitch in court this morning after being arrested for the 4th time for harassing a former boyfriend.
Then we have the reality TV stars Todd and Julie Chrystle from Chrystle Knows Best. Known for their extravagant lifestyle and family dynamics, the couple faced a significant legal battle in 2022 when they were convicted of bank fraud and tax evasion. They were found guilty of submitting false documents to secure over $30 million in loans and hiding income to avoid paying taxes. Todd was sentenced to 12 years, while Julie received a 7-year sentence. The couple's fall from reality TV fame to federal prison illustrates the stark reality of legal accountability, even for the most charismatic personalities.
Start packing fast.
Why?
Do you have any idea how many charges is going to be brought against us for putting something like that dumb out in the streets?
Canadian rapper Tory Lanez made headlines after his tumultuous relationship with fellow artist Megan Thee Stallion came to a shocking conclusion. In 2020, Lanez was accused of shooting Megan during an argument, an incident that sparked national outrage and debates about violence against women. In 2023, after a high-profile trial that captivated audiences, Lanez was found guilty and sentenced to 10 years in prison. His case became emblematic of the ongoing issues of misogyny and violence in the music industry, highlighting the need for accountability.
So I look down at my feet and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm really bleeding.
Next on our list is Jen Shah from The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Shah was arrested in March 2021 for her role in a nationwide telemarketing scheme that targeted vulnerable individuals, including the elderly. In 2023, she pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit wire fraud and was sentenced to 6.5 years in prison. Her case shocked fans, revealing the darker side of reality television and the lengths some individuals will go to for financial gain.
At the sentencing hearing Friday, Jen apologized to her victims, admitting, "My actions have hurt innocent people."
Ryan Grantham, known for his roles in Supernatural and Riverdale, committed a heartbreaking crime in 2020 when he fatally shot his mother. The act was described as shocking and tragic, and Grantham was sentenced to life in prison in 2022, with eligibility for parole after 14 years. His case serves as a tragic reminder of the often unseen struggles of mental health and familial relationships, and the devastating outcomes that can arise from them.
He's extremely remorseful for his actions, and he's doing everything he possibly can to make amends for them.
Amy Locane, who rose to fame on Melrose Place, faced severe consequences following a DUI accident in 2010 that resulted in the death of a woman named Helene Seaman. Initially sentenced to 3 years, public outcry regarding the perceived leniency of her sentence led to it being extended to 8 years. Locane's case sparked debates about DUI penalties and the impact of celebrity on the legal process, illustrating that every action has consequences, regardless of one's status.
I drove home while I was intoxicated, and the consequences were devastating.
Ian Watkins, the lead singer of the band Lost Prophets, faced a shocking fall from grace after being arrested in 2012 for child exploitation and possession of child pornography. In 2013, he was sentenced to 29 years in prison, with an additional 10 months for possessing a cell phone while incarcerated. Watkins's actions sent shockwaves through the music community, highlighting issues of child safety and the darker aspects of celebrity culture.
There is no doubt in my mind that Ian Watkins has exploited his celebrity status.
Gary Glitter, a former glam rock star, had his reputation irrevocably tarnished after multiple convictions for child sex offenses. After being sentenced to 16 years in 2015 for historical abuse, Glitter was recalled to prison in 2023 for breaching the terms of his license. His case has become synonymous with the discussion around protecting children from predatory behavior and the long-term consequences of abuse.
I've served my time. I want to put it all behind me.
Michael Jace, who garnered fame from his role on The Shield, faced a tragic turn of events when he shot his wife, April Jace.
April Jace was 40 years old. The couple had been married nearly 11 years.
Following a heated argument about their marriage. In 2016, he was convicted of murder and received a sentence of 40 years to life. Jace's case not only shocked fans of the show, but also raised awareness about domestic violence and its often hidden consequences.
We do also know that neighbors, some other neighbors, called 911 after they heard gunfire inside the home.
Sujay Knight, co-founder of Death Row Records, is another notorious figure currently incarcerated.
Suge Knight has turned himself into authorities after a deadly hit-and-run accident.
Knight's life has been marked by violence and controversy, culminating in a hit-and-run incident in 2015 that left one man dead and another seriously injured. After pleading no contest to involuntary manslaughter, he was sentenced to 28 years in prison. His story highlights the connection between celebrity culture and violence, sparking discussions about the impact of the music industry on personal lives.
There's consequences for everything that we do, and he reacted inappropriately.
Joe Exotic, the controversial zookeeper featured in Netflix's Tiger King, captured public attention with his eccentric personality and dramatic lifestyle. However, his story took a dark turn when he was sentenced to 22 years in prison for animal cruelty and conspiracy to commit murder for hire in 2019. Despite an appeal that slightly reduced his sentence, he remains incarcerated. Exotic's saga has captivated audiences and shed light on the issues of animal rights and the dark underbelly of the exotic animal trade.
That reduces his punishment by just a year, despite pleas from the 58-year-old for leniency.
Danny Masterson, best known for his role in That 70s Show, faced serious legal consequences for his actions outside of Hollywood. After being accused of sexual assault by multiple women, he was retried in 2023 and ultimately sentenced to 30 years to life in prison. His case ignited discussions about the Me Too movement and accountability in Hollywood, further emphasizing the need for survivors to be heard and believed.
In his new trial, after the guilty verdicts came in, Masterson was immediately handcuffed and sent to jail.
Elizabeth Holmes, the founder of the infamous blood testing startup Theranos, captured headlines when her claims about revolutionary technology were exposed as fraudulent. After years of legal battles, Holmes was convicted of fraud in 2022 and sentenced to over 11 years in prison. Holmes's rise and fall serve as a cautionary tale, reminding aspiring entrepreneurs of the importance of integrity and transparency in business. Her case has prompted calls for stricter regulations in the startup ecosystem to protect investors and consumers alike.
As she entered a Texas federal prison, it's where she'll spend tonight and potentially the next 11 years.
Josh Duggar, a former star of 19 Kids and Counting, faced a dramatic turn of events when he was arrested for receiving and possessing child pornography in 2021. The charges led to the cancellation of his family's reality show and sparked nationwide conversations about child safety, accountability, and the responsibilities of public figures. Duggar was sentenced to nearly 13 years in prison, and his case has highlighted ongoing issues of abuse and exploitation within the public eye, particularly in the context of religious and conservative communities. The fallout from Duggar's actions continues to resonate, emphasizing the need for societal awareness and proactive measures against abuse.
After Josh's guilty verdict was announced, the couple wrote on their website, "Nobody is above the law."
Jared Fogle, once the face of Subway, saw his life crumble after being convicted of child exploitation in 2015. Fogle accepted a plea deal that resulted in a 15-year sentence, bringing attention to the grave issues of childhood exploitation and the responsibilities of public figures. Fogle's downfall serves as a stark reminder of the importance of safeguarding children and being vigilant against those who may exploit their trust. The ripple effects of his actions continue to raise awareness about the critical need for protective measures in our communities.
FBI and state police raiding Jared Fogle's mansion Tuesday.
He now is sentenced to more than 15 and a half years in prison.
Harvey Weinstein was once a powerhouse in Hollywood, known for producing acclaimed films like Pulp Fiction and Shakespeare in love. However, beneath his success lay a history of sexual harassment and assault that went unchecked for decades. In 2017, investigative reporting by the New York Times and the New Yorker exposed numerous allegations against him, igniting the Me Too movement. This movement empowered many women to come forward with their stories, shedding light on the systemic abuse in Hollywood and beyond. Weinstein was convicted in 2020 of criminal sexual act and rape, receiving a 23-year prison sentence.
Harvey Weinstein, a 70-year-old man in very poor health, just found out that he'll be spending the rest of his natural life.
As we've seen, the lives of these celebrities serve as powerful reminders that fame does not provide immunity from the consequences of one's actions. Each story carries its own lessons about accountability, the impact of personal choices, and the importance of justice. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories about the celebrities you think you know. What do you think about these cases? Are there other stories you'd like us to cover? Let us know in the comments below.